That was Sean Hockley, by the way. We joked about this, JJ. I'm just curious. Do you think that was the only one he had in his bag, or did he have a few of those?
Man, he might have had holding, right? But also, like, he does kind of control which call is called first, right? So he was looking hard for the false start. He did not want an ineligible man downfield.
He probably looked at his notes. Oh, this is the one. Let me tested the mic there.
Push the button.
Exactly. Let's get to the Giants here because, look, we know it's another loss, and naturally we always gravitate towards a quarterback in Daniel Jones, and another riddle question mark kind of performance, 2 turnovers, didn't show up as much as we thought he would. We are talking about that position. If you're the Giants moving forward, how do they attack that in terms of maybe evaluating that spot?
There's not a lot of great options, right, Brandon? I mean, look, we've talked a lot about his injury guarantee. And so let's just go ahead and rehash this. Basically, if Daniel Jones, let's go back. He signed a 4-year, $160 million contract. It really was a 2-year deal and a we'll see. We're getting close to the end of those 2 years, and we know what the we'll see is. But if he cannot pass a physical by March at the start of the league year, the Giants are going to owe him about half of $23 million. If he can't pass a physical by the start of the season next year, they would owe him all of the $23 million. And so with that injury guarantee, the Giants are going to, sooner rather than later, have to make a determination with a lost season here about when they're going to sit Daniel Jones, when they don't want to risk locking up future money into Daniel Jones, knowing that there is no future with Daniel Jones. And of course, the Giants do know that, of course. So that is where we are right now. I did not anticipate anything would happen before the trade deadline. We are now past the trade deadline. They were just in Germany, as we know, losing to the Carolina Panthers, who for the second straight week have sort of become a Grim Reaper type of team, right? We saw New Orleans fire their head coach after losing to Carolina, and now you have the Giants in dire straits, having lost to Carolina going into their bye week. So usually a lot of changes tend to happen when you can coincide with a bye, and oh, what do you know, the Giants with 2 wins and a whole lot of question marks about their future going into a bye.
And to make matters work, you see your guy who was a star last year, Saquon Barkley, doing his thing with the Eagles, and you chose Daniel Jones over him. So, of course, something else to mount on that as they head into that bye. Staying in the division, Washington, they had a lot of questions in their young secondary, and we saw a little bit of that exposed with Russell Wilson kind of picking his way through that. But if you're the Commanders, the recent trade for Marshawn Lattimore, it seems like it's going to pay off here based on what we saw yesterday and what type of player he is, right?
Yeah, look, they certainly hope so. You're getting a 4-time Pro Bowl cornerback in Marshawn Lattimore, a guy who absolutely still has the juice. When you look at the advanced analytics, you see a guy who quarterbacks are not targeting when he's out there on the field. And so if you want to see all the numbers and you want to see all the pass breakups and the interceptions, you're not really going to see it with Marshawn Lattimore this season because people don't want to throw his way. So the Commanders went out there. They got a fantastic corner for a 3rd-round pick and a 4th-round pick that they had to send to New Orleans. Most of his contract this season's already paid. There's $16 million in non-guaranteed money next year that they surely will be picking up, and he will be with the Commanders for the foreseeable future. But it also doesn't come without some risk. This past Sunday was his 20th game that he has missed since the start of the 2022 season. He's dealing with a hamstring injury. That's not one of those quote-unquote injuries when you're trying to get out of a bad team and go to a better place. We've seen that from some veterans around the league. Obviously, by him missing this past game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, a game that, as you note, very obviously they could have used him. This is a legitimate injury. They are hoping that he can be ready to go this upcoming week against the Philadelphia Eagles. We'll see about that. It may take another week for Marshawn Lattimore to make his debut, but surely and honestly, the Commanders hoping that in this playoff push, in this Jaden Daniels rookie contract window, that he can make a difference.
Well, those guys that can shut down half a field when you line them up there in that 11 there in that secondary. Let's just say the Cowboys, they didn't need anybody to shut them down except for the sunshine. Apparently, it's just too bright for some Cowboys players. CeeDee Lamb, we saw him missing that easy touchdown there. And then after the game, Jerry Jones hearing all that and saying, quote, We do know where the damn sun's going to be at our own stadium. Then his second response to a second question from the same reporter, JJ, saying, let's just tear the damn stadium down and build another one. You kidding me? Now, JJ, I wouldn't put this on anybody, but I want you to decipher what is Jerry Jones talking about here and make the most that you can of this.
Well, I mean,
we got him, boys.
I was uncontrollably laughing yesterday when this was going on because there is a fix, right? You can just lower the blinds. That's all you have to do. And Jerry really likes the look of it. And I'll be honest, like, you can make some pretty cool art like this. Like, this is some, like, Caravaggio would have had a field day out in the end zone painting something here, right? So I do understand that it does look cool, but obviously it is putting your team at a remarkable competitive disadvantage. You can say, well, the other team has to deal with it. What if no team has to deal with it? What if you just lower the blinds and no one, including CeeDee Lamb, has to deal with it? And I loved his response. Like, we know where the sun's going to be basically a year out. Like, yes, you can pull out Poor Richard's almanac and you can see roughly what the sun is going to be come November. I mean, that is mostly true and accurate. It is so hilarious because of the amount of hubris that is involved, that if you just read, like, the Greeks, you know to lower the blinds in your multi-billion-dollar stadium. And Jerry has read the Greeks, and yet he still lets the sun come through. I'm going to wrap it there because I'm going to start uncontrollably laughing again.
Look, you don't have to go that far, JJ. You don't have to go that far. Look at this. Look at this. I can't see. I can't see. You know? And it's exactly what CD. Sometimes you got to put the blinds up. Sometimes you got to put the blinds up here. You know. All right, JJ, appreciate it, man. It's a good line.
You're welcome for that. Wow.
It is.
Thank you.
Sunday's look is always reserved for the NFL, and this time it's going to be in Buffalo. The fellas leaving the studio and heading to go see the Chiefs and Bills. We know that rivalry. You can catch them on CBS and Paramount at noon Eastern time.